Hello and welcome to the fifth quarterfinal. And with that, we start the second half of the quarterfinals. This is a nice mix of four contestants. There is ex-finalist, there's a debutant. So let me call them one by one. The first contestant made her debut in the Mela edition, and what a debut! She reached the final, almost even won the edition. So, like one of the I think she was runner-up in the final, or like very close to winning. So fantastic debut. She's back here this time for general edition. Give it up for Anuya.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, KV.
Anuya.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, KV, for that awesome, no pressures at all introduction. I'm not
Welcome
nervous.
back. Welcome back, Anuya.
Thank
With that, a debutant. Finally, we've quizzed off like outside quizzing the comedians a lot, but this is the first time it's formally being a part of quizzing with the comedians. Give it up for Raghav Mandava.
Hello. Man, I'm finally like you can show how limited my knowledge is to everybody. I'm so excited to show how dumb I am. It is so exciting. And it's so great to be here. We've been quizzing forever, and I always miss these things because I'm one of those idiots who doesn't check their WhatsApp often. And KV always sends me an invite, and I'm like 4 days later, hey, KV, our slot's still open. And then, no, I'm so dumb. I'm so glad to finally be here. I really am.
So pleasure is all ours, Raghav. With that, we go to someone who's been the finalist in the last two editions, back-to-back editions. So no pressure. Again, Sahil Shah.
Okay, pausing music because of copyright issues. I know this goes on YouTube, so I couldn't find. I'm ready. I'm ready, guys, with my thinking cap. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Welcome, Sahil. Welcome you and your thinking cap, both of you. With that, we come to again someone who's been with us, like one of the quizzing constants, right from the first edition to now, like almost 2 years later. Give it up for Sapan Verma.
Woo! I love this introduction. I love this introduction.
Yeah.
For Sahil, it's like he's been a finalist. Anuya almost won Raghav debut. This guy's been there. Thank you. Very apt.
Okay, I'll just create randomly pressure on Sapan that both Azim and Atul have qualified so far in this.
Oh,
It's a 100% success rate for
Oh.
EIC so far. Just say.
Okay. I'm the one who's holding the company back. Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's begin. Question number one to Anuya. After a failed business venture with his brothers, X filed for bankruptcy in 1818. Under desperate situations, he turned to writing for possible financial support. He stayed in Birmingham, England, where his brother-in-law, Henry Van Watt, had opened a trading firm. They were reminiscing in June 1818 when X was suddenly inspired by their nostalgic conversation. X locked himself in his room and wrote non-stop all night. As said by him, he felt like a man waking from a sleep while writing this. Many also like to believe that he came across the tale called Peter Klaus in Ottmar's Volkssagen, which is German for folk tales, published in Germany in 1800, and he then adapted it to an American setting. I don't want X. Just tell me what resulted next. What in the world of literature resulted next?
I like how I'm going to kickstart this quiz by failing to answer a literature question. That'll go down in history. Okay, is it a Christmas Carol?
Not a Christmas Carol. Going to Raghav.
I'm just going to go with Santa Claus because it says Peter Claus. So I'm going with Santa Claus.
No, not Santa Claus. Going to Sahil.
Is it Peter Pan?
Not Peter Pan. Going to Sapan.
I like how we've tried all the beginning, middle, last. Yeah, everything it inspires, we'll answer.
Yeah. Sapan.
What resulted next? We guess Broadway.
Not Broadway. Okay, we'll take one more round. We'll make this a 5-point question starting with Anuya. So the hint would be sleep. Okay, sleep is a thing to focus on. Like essentially, the idea came because he felt like a man waking from a sleep. Okay, and think of a short story. Okay, an American short story. So American short story. Think sleep and think what could be. What did he write basically?
Famous American short story about sleep. I feel like when you tell me this, I'm going to want to. I don't know, KV, I pass.
Okay, Anuya, since we go to Raghav.
Is it Sleeping Beauty?
Not Sleeping Beauty. Going to Sahil.
Is it Rip Van Winkle?
It is Rip Van Winkle.
Of course. Old man who slept forever.
And,
Damn it. I was going to say Kumkaran for some reason.
I was going to Snow White.
I went with all options. Tooth Fairy. I'm like, Tooth Fairy doesn't sleep forever, but yeah.
I was like, oh
Hey,
yeah,
but
of course.
I don't even know what this is. That's how behind I am.
This is what happened before lockdown, and this is him after lockdown. It's literally lockdown. That's the story of Rip Van Winkle.
yeah, Rip Van Winkle. Sapan is a short story. So guy that we are talking about is Washington Irving, and Rip Van Winkle is a guy who meets some mysterious people, drinks liquor, sleeps, and then sleeps for like 20 years, and then wakes up and he has missed like American Revolution, has missed a lot in life basically. So
He's living the dream, man.
I know.
I wish I could afford to do that.
okay, so Sahil gets the first points of the quiz on board, which means the next direct will be Sapan. Sapan, this book became really popular in India in the late 60s, mainly because someone was spotted reading this on a train. Okay, certain book became popular because someone was reading this on a train. So the person was reading the book. Debuted in a Satyajit Ray's film as a child artist and later also found fame in Bollywood. Featured in several 60s Bollywood classics. And when people spotted reading Alistair MacLean's When Eight Bells Toll, as you can see, its sales shot through the roof. Okay. What I want from you guys is, where have you seen this book being read by someone in a train in late 60s that made this book really popular?
Oh man. You don't want X. You want, where have you seen this book? In the late
If you know then you would know. Like,
We've seen this book in like Raddiwala's.
I think it's like this is a book you find in your parents' collection of books you would never read, but they were there. Yeah, it's one of those books. I've seen this cover 100%.
इसी का कवर को बाद में इस कवर को हार्डी बॉयज का कवर बनाया किसी ने.
You can literally write race and this will be the next race movie franchise for this is exact race ka cover.
It really is. Except in race, no, that helicopter will be carrying a car around or something.
Okay, chal, Sapan, sorry, won't distract.
Sorry.
नहीं मैं तो ऐसे भी तुक्का मारने वाला हूँ. मैं सोच रहा हूँ कौन है ये. I'm gonna take where have we seen this book? I'm gonna take a guess, a random guess. Guide.
Not guide. Going to Anuya.
This question is set in the 60s क्योंकि आजकल तो कोई किताबें पढ़ता है नहीं.
Nice.
Oh my God, I don't. Is it Sharmila Tagore in Mere Sapno Ki Rani?
Beautiful answer. Full 10
Oh my
points.
God!
I literally just wrote that. My God.
Wow.
Nice.
It is the legendary Mere Sapno Ki Rani. Sharmila Tagore is reading Alistair MacLean in the train, and like the whole country became very curious about what she was reading. And yeah, Aradhana.
Such an apt.
Why that middle photo came?
Oh.
That is his sapna.
From Aradhana.
I would have never got this answer. There was this one time I had to pick up Sharmila Tagore from the airport and I didn't know who she was. So everybody yelled at me and somebody else went to pick her up.
Oh my God.
This was when I was 21.
Had you read this book, you would have known who she was.
Okay, now we come to Raghav. Talking about a certain device. Okay, when we think about this device, we assume that it might use a storage container for its functionality. However, this emergency situation device works by way of a chemical reaction and in the process generates a lot of heat, which itself is ironic given the situation and the location. The chemical reaction occurs between sodium chlorate, NaClO3, ClO3, less than 5% barium peroxide, BaO2, and less than 1% potassium perchlorate, KCl4. Identify the device. Essentially, we're talking about a certain device. When you first think of the device, you would assume that it might use a storage container for the function that it's supposed to do. However, this emergency situation device doesn't have a storage thing. In fact, it works by way of a chemical reaction, which in process generates a lot of heat, which is ironic because given the situation and the location where it's supposed to be used, it is little ironic. So identify the device that we are talking about.
Is it like emergency oxygen in an airplane or the life jacket thing?
Absolutely correct. Superb answer. Like
The life jacket
Nice,
thing. Yes.
nice.
very, very well done. This is the emergency oxygen mask basically on the planes. So you,
Wow.
Nice.
Dude, for someone who dropped chemistry in 10th, I'm very proud of myself. I hope my mom sees this.
My answer was going to be penis. Every time a device question comes, my brain goes, that is the answer. Well done.
How do they generate heat? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
so basically it's a hazard. It can go on fire
Is
also
my
at that
internet
time.
lagging or is somebody else lagging?
No, your internet's lagging.
basically it does that chemical reaction does generate a lot of heat, which is ironic because you don't want more heat to be generated when you have to use an oxygen mask on airplane. But what a great crack. Raghav gets 10 points,
Mad.
which means next direct will be to Sahil. Sahil, after the match in Sydney in the year 2000 against Poland, he went into the hotel room and sobbed over the phone with his mother on the other side. The fact that he couldn't win clearly showed what winning a medal for his nation meant for this great man. When he told his mother over phone, Amma, I have failed you, Amma. 3 Olympics I have played and I couldn't get a medal back. Amma, forgive me, I have failed. Okay. Who is this Padma Shri and Khel Ratna awardee?
Okay, so I am very bad with sports, so I'm just going to give a guess. Is it Dhanraj Pillai?
It is Dhanraj Pillai.
Ah!
Done.
And the hint is because
Amma.
his book is called Forgive Me, Amma.
Oh, no idea.
Wow.
I saw someone on the train reading it. That's when I remembered.
Forgive Me, Amma.
You know how I got it, KV? You want to hear how I got it? I
Yes,
wrote
please.
down a list of people who I thought it could be. And then I went Dhanraj Pillai, Amma. And that was my logic. That was my logic. Okay, cool.
Man, sports is too cruel.
Yeah, man.
So the book name comes because of this conversation apparently that he had with his mom, where Indian hockey team, which used to be legendary before, like they kept winning gold, and then there was a streak where they couldn't win anything. And okay.
Can I just
Yeah.
this? I have actually held an Indian hockey Olympic gold in my hand,
Oh, yeah?
which belonged to a man called Kesav Dutt. Like, yeah, it's something. It didn't look that fancy. It looked quite run down, but hey, actual gold at that time also.
Wow.
I ran into him at the Dadar Shivaji Bhat Barista. That's it. He was there. I was like, hello, you play something? No.
Okay, but what a great crack by Sahil with no knowledge of sports. He got Dhanraj Pillai because of Pillai, which is beautiful. I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of people ask me, na, aisa quiz mein ki, oh, ye to mujhe aate nahi. But there's always some way to figure out. You think of sports people from that era, and then yeah. Dhanraj Pillai is actually from Maharashtra, but his origins are Tamil. So in some sense, you are right. Good way to crack this. Okay. Dhanraj Pillai was answered by Sahil, so the next direct will come to Sapan. This is one of those calculated guess kind of a question. So in 1949, but I just love this story. In 1949, a certain capital city, X, had put in a strong bid for hosting 1956 Summer Olympics. Okay. In fact, it was able to reach the final round ahead of cities like Los Angeles, Mexico City, Montreal, among others. There, however, it lost to Melbourne by a single vote. So Melbourne got to host the 1956 Olympics and not this. because this city lost by a single vote. Why? It's because its bid was scuppered by the Chilean delegation, who, again, no way to verify, but according to legend, as per legend, voted for Melbourne because they had been to X many times before and they wanted to visit. Okay. So which capital city do you think are we talking about? So certain capital city 7 years before the Olympics put in a strong bid to host 1956 Summer Olympics. They reached the final round ahead of lost LA, Mexico City, Montreal, etc., etc. However, there was almost a tie, but Chile voted for Melbourne because Chile said we've been here so many times, we don't want to go there again. We want an excuse to go as far as Melbourne. The bid. Which capital city do you think we are talking about?
I'm gonna take the standard guess. Is it New York?
No, not New York. Going to Anuya.
Can you ask the others to give all their wrong answers so I can?
The process of elimination.
And okay, no.
Okay. Is it Buenos Aires?
It is Buenos Aires. Full sentence.
Oof, nice one.
Oh, nice
Wow.
one.
Wow.
Nice
That's
one.
crazy. Buenos Aires,
Brasilia.
Canada capital.
Argentina.
I didn't know. I was going to say Rio. I was going to say Rio.
Same.
Yeah.
And if you said Rio wrong, I would have just randomly said Brazil. But I don't know.
I thought I was trying to say the US subcontinent only.
हाँ, तो मैंने आजू बाजू के नाम लिखे बोला अभी लोग कुछ ना कुछ बोलेंगे बट cool ठीक है हो गया चलो.
Buenos Aires. In fact, they've never hosted the Olympics since then. This is the last thing that they hosted closest to Olympics, which is the Youth Olympic Games in 2018.
Good for them. Kangal ho jate.
Okay, 10 points there to Anuya. Great crack. Going to Raghav now. Raghav, I'm talking about a certain term. The first documented use of this term was in The Stage in 1911, describing a Miss Nellie Perrier delivering in a charming manner, describing a performance of songs. In the Yorkshire Evening Post of 10th November 1917, the Stage Gossip column described the career of Finlay Dunn as what he calls a X. This usage is more convincing than the 1911 review of Nellie Perrier, as Dunn introduced himself as good buffoonery in evening dress with no accessories whatsoever. Whatever. What is X? Essentially, we're talking about root or some of the first usages of a certain term. Okay. First usage comes from 1911, where someone performed a bunch of songs and the term was first used for her, Miss Nellie Perrier. And the writer said that it was good buffoonery in evening dress with no accessories, whatever. And then a few years later, in 1917, the term was again used in Yorkshire Evening Post, where it described someone's career, described the career of Finlay Dunn as what he calls a dash. So what do you think these are some of the first mentions of, first documented use of this term?
मेरे को समझा ही नहीं है question.
So basically, let me just try and understand the question. This term was used to describe somebody's stage performance.
Yes.
And hence has been used repeatedly since.
Yeah.
Like has become a good buffoonery in evening dress with no accessories whatsoever.
Guys, I just want to take a moment to say that chai has been delivered.
Wow. Girish, beautiful.
Guys. Thank you, baby.
Cheers. Is it tanking?
Not tanking. Going to Sahil.
Shit.
I honestly don't know, so I'm going to guess. Is it hamming?
Not hamming. Going to Sapan.
Hamming was my guess also. Okay, I have another guess I'm going to take. Is it a parody?
Not a parody. Going to Anuya.
Is it improv?
Not improv. Okay, we'll start with Raghav once again for 5 points. So all of you are good track, but just think of career. Okay, so career is a clue. So all the words that you guys said, try and associate them with a certain career and think this particular career or like words associated with this career were first used in this context. Okay.
Very hot.
Downhill slope?
Not downhill slope. Going to Sahil.
You said career, right? It is a career. That's what he calls. Is it? It's a career or it's a term to describe a career? Sorry, I'm just.
No, it's a career. Like it's a
What's
career.
the difference? What?
It's a career. Okay, I'm just gonna. Is it comedian?
Can you improve your answer?
Oh, is it a good person evening comedian? Can you improve my answer? 1 second, comedian. Is it an opening act?
Not an opening act. Going
Okay,
to
cool.
Sapan.
Is it a clown?
Not a clown. Going to Anuya.
Is it a stand-up comedian?
It is stand-up comedy.
God damn it.
Yaar.
KV, screw you a little bit for putting it like
Hey,
this.
hey, you have to give two points. You have to give two. She put stand up. दो points split करना चाहिए, please.
I believe Sahil and Sapan didn't get this. This is awesome.
Come on.
Your face forever.
Splitsies, please.
It is stand-up comedy. The first documented use of the word stand-up comedy was this. Okay. It basically it said that Nelly Perrier delivered a stand-up as okay, and all that, like a good buffoonery,
Mad.
with
Nice.
whatever. And yeah, stand-up comedian, stand-up comedy, stand-up, all of these were acceptable. Yes, I will give some. So this became a 5-point question, and Sahil guessed comedian, which was close enough, but comedian is a much older profession than. But
Sure.
stand-up is the right answer, which Anuya got. Yeah, okay, I'll make it 4-1, and this might be critical later. But Anuya
get
gets
one.
4 stand-up comedy. No, you get 4 for stand-up comedy and 1 to Sahil for comedian. Okay.
ना इंसाफी है, मैं याद रखूंगा. ठीक है. ना
Can I-
इंसाफी है,
Can I
जज
get a-
साहब.
Can I get a pat on the back for tanking?
Yeah.
Because it set the tone.
Not try to kind of portray our art form. Raghav said tanking, Sahil said hamming. I said tanking.
The music was what threw me. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
ठीक है, चलो.
Cool. All right. Next direct will be to Raghav. Raghav, contrary to what the name suggests, this was an American invention that has been associated with a certain cuisine in the US. Okay. In 1894, a man named Frederick Weeks patented this invention as paper pail, okay, which was an improvement on the existing oyster pails, which were basically wooden containers used to transport oysters. By what common name do we know paper pail? Okay, so we're talking about something contrary to what we call this. This was an American invention, okay, associated with a certain cuisine in the US and like all over the world also, not really US specific as such, but the origins are American. A guy called Frederick Weeks patented this and called it paper pail. Earlier, there used to be something called oyster pail. Oyster pail were basically wooden containers which people used to transport oysters. But this guy came up with paper pail. How do we know, like, what is paper pail, or how do we commonly call this thing called paper pail?
Transport oyster.
Earlier, like some
Okay.
early version of this was.
And it was a bucket of kind. Yeah, pail would be a bucket of some kind. Is it a champagne bucket?
Not the champagne bucket. Going to Sahil.
Is it the walk box, the Chinese parcel, the fast food cut, that box? that
Yeah,
opens up?
absolutely correct. And contrary to what the name suggests, Chinese takeout boxes are actually an American invention, and this is what paper pail is. This Chinese takeout.
Wow. I did not know this. That's very cool.
Yeah. Super, great crack. Chinese takeout boxes. Sahil gets 10 points, and I go to Sapan. Sapan, we're talking about something who people usually associate with Tennessee. X is closely associated with Tennessee, but he was actually born in Mississippi. Okay, though he'll forever be associated with Memphis, Tennessee, which was home to his Graceland mansion. Okay, X was actually born in Tupelo, Mississippi on January 8th, 1935. Okay, it was there that X began to sing and play guitar, sometimes even bringing the instrument to school to play gospel music for his classmates. It wasn't until 1948, when he was around 13 years old, that his family moved to Memphis, and Memphis is now where we usually associate him with. Who are we talking about?
Hi, Sahil. I saw the smile on your face. Saw it.
I saw it on your
Anuya with
face
the mind
also.
games.
Annoying.
Music, music.
Hey, KV was his wife for Gori Memphis. What?
Okay, I'm gonna pass.
Okay, Sapan passes. We go to Anuya.
It's Elvis Presley, brother.
Take it.
Elvis Presley, Graceland Mansion.
You, the moment you mentioned Graceland, I looked at Anuya. Anuya sitting and giggling over there. Like there's no poker face at all.
I was going to say Chuck Berry. Thank you, Anuya, for saving me embarrassment.
Okay, Anuya gets Elvis Presley. End of the first half, quick look at the score with Sharmila Tagore, Aradhana, Buenos Aires, stand-up comedy, and Elvis Presley. Anuya is on
34
points
man.
so far. Raghav with the emergency oxygen mask on plane is on 10. Sahil with 5 on Rip Van Winkle, 10 on Dhanraj Pillai, and 10 again on Chinese takeout boxes, and 1 for stand-up comedy is on 26. And Sapan is yet to start scoring. So Anuya and Sahil leading, followed by Raghav and Sapan.
There's no negative marking, na?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Anuya.
I am on 44.
34.
34.
34.
Pushing herself at I'm on 44, na KV?
I'm on 98, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's start the second half. The order now will be Sapan, Sahil, Raghav, Anuya. So we'll start with Sapan with a football question. Sorry, Sapan.
Great.
This is the image that you see on your screen is an 18th century English prison, often referred to as Prince Rupert's Tower. Has quite an impression among the locals as it was originally an overnight holding place where local drunks and criminals were locked up. Now, this thing that you see on screen, this prison, finds a place in the crest of an English football club. Okay, so this thing is on the crest, just like this is the crest of Liverpool. Crest of an English football club that last won the domestic title. So last won the English League in 1986-87. Which football club do you think we are talking about?
Football club के नाम ही नहीं पता है इतने सारे.
All the ones I know.
Are good ones.
तुक्का मार देंगे.
But these are all good ones that I know. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking from my FIFA knowledge. Who do I know?
KV, I'm assuming it's not Liverpool since you mentioned.
Yeah. Yes.
Also, they're all good ones, man. Pass.
Okay, we
Guess
go.
करना.
अरे सारे अच्छे पता है.
अरे गया भाड़ में guess.
Guess. Yeah, just guess one.
Yeah,
You never know.
you never know. Go Sapan.
The seemingly cooperative cheering is just ki eliminate kar do yaar ek Sapan. Okay,
No.
Sapan, you're passing. We come to Sahil now.
Damn, sports, I have no idea, but I'll guess as I would guess Tottenham.
Not Tottenham. Raghav.
Everton FC.
Everton FC. That is correct. 10 points there to Raghav.
That was ठीक है छोड़.
मुझे तो पता भी नहीं है ये क्या है.
Everton Crest. This finds a place.
It's the opposite of Liverpool, by the way.
Yeah.
Like they're local rivals.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everton is based out of Liverpool, and is older than Liverpool Football Club actually.
Never to be relegated. Never relegated. They Tottenham have never been relegated or something like that.
Okay, Raghav gets 10 points for Everton. Now we come to Anuya. Okay, one of the most successful things to come out of Disneyland has to be X. Okay, in the early days of Disneyland, Casa de Fritos was a restaurant that served Tex-Mex and was associated with Fritos and later Frito-Lay. Now, the story of how this thing started, the story is that restaurant was getting in a shipment of tortillas when the salesman advised that instead of tossing unused tortillas away, they should cut them up and fry them. So this new dish became an instant hit. Later, when a marketing executive of the newly formed Frito-Lay company was looking around, He noticed how popular these fried tortilla chips were and decided to put them into production as a new snack. Soon, eggs were conquering supermarket shelves in the US and like all over the world. What is this the origin of? What came out of Disneyland? What is eggs?
Nachos?
Not nachos. Going to
What nachos?
Going to maybe?
yeah, Sapan.
Going to
Is it Cheetos?
Not Cheetos. Going to Sahil.
It's Doritos.
It is Doritos.
damn
Doritos.
it, Sahil.
So nachos only. Bloody.
But brand, no?
This is Doritos is the
Doritos.
stand-up comedian of the nacho world. Get your facts right, okay?
So मेरे को 1 point दे. क्या होता है nacho?
Doritos.
Damn it. It was
10 points there to Sahil. Superb crack. It is Dorito. Okay, interesting. We now come to
Sahil,
Raghav.
why couldn't you just say Foritos or something?
Raghav, in 2019, researchers from the Ohio State University conducted an extensive study on the family tree of X, of someone's family tree, and found a significant positive association between child mortality and inbreeding. X had 10 children with his first cousin and wife, Emma Wedgwood, 3 of whom died before the age of 10, 2 from infectious diseases as a result of inbreeding. X even wrote to a friend saying that this was a wretched family that ought to be exterminated. Who do you think we are talking about? Whose family do you think was this research done upon?
The British royal family?
Not the British royal family. Going to Anuya.
Damn. Okay. I don't know. Okay. No clue.
Okay, Anuya passes. We go to Sapan. Sapan passes. We go to Sahil.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Huh?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go on a limb. I only know a few people who've married their cousins, but is it Albert Einstein?
Not Einstein. Okay, we'll take one more round starting with Raghav. See, the reason this question or like this concept is interesting / ironic, so to speak, is because X and his contribution to the world, one of the many things that he sort of contributed, one of the pointers that he made is that okay, we'll not take that route. Okay, we are talking about someone who has had a very pivotal contribution in the history of science. Okay, in fact, like game changing, or like one of the theories that define our existence, so to speak. That's one hint. Second hint is think Europe, think English. Okay, and third hint would be what I was starting with, which is for someone who has said something, said a lot of things about breeding, etc. It's ironic that his own family or his own life
Okay.
had inbreeding and sort of
Yeah.
So obviously,
And huge contribution to science, like game changing.
it's obviously that.
Is it Newton?
not Newton. We go to Anuya.
This is not my answer, but it is obviously this fuck Kim Kardashian's mother. One is a Christian, but Darwin.
Yes, Charles Darwin is who.
Awesome.
Nice one.
Lel.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Darwin. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. 5 points there to Anuya. We were talking about Charles Darwin, who married his own cousin and had a lot of issues, like we saw.
Quite a lot of people in the past married their own cousins. Huh? Matlab, options were really limited in the past. Like,
Tinder.
It's like, the Thanksgiving.
Tinder, yeah.
Now we know why it's called Thanksgiving.
And yeah, the reason that what I was trying to say is like one of his theories says that plants usually should not have inbreeding because that will give you plants that are weak enough or will die soon, etc. So yeah, one of those.
Men.
Yeah. Okay, 5 points there to Anuya for Charles Darwin. We come to Sapan now for one of those rare short questions in quizzing. Which firm is the American equivalent of Burnham Hogg in UK, Wilkins Chawla in India, Coggi Rep in France, and Papeles Lozano in Chile, among others. Which firm are we talking about?
I have no idea what these are.
Yeah, what are these things?
I know I've heard of Wilkins Chavla. I just don't remember what it is. Where have I seen it? I was also done. Love my film.
Sorry, Sapan?
American
your
equivalent of. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can hear
you?
you. Sapan, sorry.
No, I was just. UK Wilkins. Who are these people? Anuya, stop it.
I don't know, Sapan. I don't know the answer. I'm just giggling.
Oh, yeah, you're just
I've heard
horrible.
I've heard of Wilkins Chavla, but I just don't know where. Wilkins Chavla, India. American equivalent of.
Which firm is the American equivalent of Burnham Hogg in UK? So UK has Burnham Hogg, India has Wilkins Chavla, France has Coggi Rep, Chile, Papeles Lozano, US dash.
Pass.
Okay, passing to Sahil.
Sapan, you're going to feel horrible, but it's Dunder Mifflin Paper Company.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
Oh,
You said it, but you didn't stick to it.
I said it as a joke.
You didn't
Shit.
stick to it. Wilkins Chavla is in Desi office. Dude.
oh my god.
I have to give you a fun fact, by the way. I have
Huh?
to give you a very fun fact, by the way, to just rub it in further. Sapan had auditioned for the Indian office. Okay.
That's where I've heard this.
And he hadn't got the role. And when I saw the Indian office, I'm not even kidding, there is a character who's the intern. Intern's name is Sapan Gill. And I'm like,
That's so shady.
That is so shady.
It's
Sapan
so
Gill, the
shady.
intern.
So, it's so shady.
It was written
Like-
at Kautuk Srivastav.
Like,
Sapan,
yeah.
just commit. If you think it is, just commit. Worst
I
case,
thought
what will happen?
no. I know
yeah,
I
there's no
haven't
negative.
heard-
There's no negative marking, nah.
Yeah.
Like, just go for it. YOLO.
Did he say?
He said it, and then he was like, nahi ho paega. And I was doing my best to
No,
just
I
be
was just saying it as
supportive.
a joke. I was not
Yeah.
saying it as this thing.
Sapan, you're in that situation where I'm third right now, and I need you to drop points from Sahil and Anuya, and you're not doing that.
Okay.
Okay, Dunder Mifflin is correct. Sorry, Sapan didn't say it as the answer, just for the audience.
Yeah.
So Sahil gets 10 points, and we come to Raghav.
I'm really sorry, Sapan. I'm really sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I thought it can't be a fictional question.
But that's the beauty of this
Not
quiz.
know KV?
KV throws
Yeah.
things and then it's fictional. Like yesterday's quiz, he had shown something. Everyone was thinking smart answers. It was Batman building. So you have to just go.
Okay, this is Raghav's direct. Raghav, a certain protein called TAR DNA TAR DNA binding protein 43 called TDP43 is a protein found in humans. Mutations in this are associated with several neurodegenerative disorders. Researchers, supported by funding from a popular initiative, discovered new evidence on the role that mutant TDP43 plays in the development and progression of these diseases. This important work sheds light on the disease's progression, and new therapies, when tested on mice, extended their lives substantially. Now, what I want from you is, which popular initiative did the $225 million funding came from?
Ice bucket challenge.
Yes, that is correct. Beautiful answer.
Nice one.
Point there to Raghav. We're talking about ice bucket challenge.
Nice one.
Ice bucket challenge.
Wow. Nice.
Ice bucket challenge. Okay. Next direct is to Anuya. Anuya, we're talking about something whose origin lies in primitive cultivars grown in the Roman Empire and was most likely improved via artificial selection in the southern Italian peninsula or in Sicily. It was spread to Northern Europe by the 18th century and brought to North America in the 19th century by Italian immigrants. The word, like the word that we know this thing, the word that we use for this, the word comes from an Italian word which means the flowering crest of a cabbage. Okay. What do you think are we talking about?
Okay. Origins and fuck, I can think of 15 things, yeah, KV. Italian. Okay. Okay, is it broccoli?
It is broccoli. 10 points.
Mad crack.
Broccoli. Broccoli is the plural of broccolo. Broccolo means the flowering crest of a cabbage.
Plus, the Italian was the clue. Just I was like,
Broccoli.
makes sense.
We tried to grow broccoli at home. It just ended up being flowers. Like they grew a little bit and then it just glowed into flowers.
Oh,
Yeah.
oof. Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Anuya.
Yeah,
Okay.
broccoli.
Shit. Brussels
We-
sprouts, cauliflower, क्या आया दिमाग में? Anyway, sorry, Kim.
Yeah, but Italian.
Italian broccoli.
Okay, this is we're back to Sapan. Sapan, holiday makers are constantly on the hunt for a reason to munch on X. So the calendar offers plenty of excuses to buy a X. July 7th is X Day, a nod to the historical tradition that the day marks when X was first brought to Europe on July 7th, 1550. Though a number of sources argue that it might have hit the continent shore as far back as 1503, thanks to Christopher Columbus. Official day or not, we do know that X first arrived in Europe sometime in the 16th century. There's also International X Day on September 13th. Okay, what do you think we are talking about? What are these days that people keep celebrating? July 7th is called X Day.
It's a food item.
It's something that we eat. So, yeah.
PNS, sorry.
The International X Day is on September 13th. They arrived in Europe. There is discussion about when it arrived, but apparently it arrived on July 7th. That's why they celebrate July 7th as X Day.
Are constantly on the hunt for a reason to munch on X.
Hmm.
Something to eat. This is, I'm just going to guess because this is, I'm not sure, but cheese.
Not cheese, going to Sahil.
Okay. Is it an advent calendar and chocolate?
It is chocolate. Chocolate is all that I was looking for.
Okay, cool.
Chocolate day, chocolate.
No, calendar threw me off because you have those calendars now where you open them and there are chocolates inside.
What?
Okay, cool.
We're talking about chocolate. Sahil gets 10 points on chocolate, which brings us to the last question, going to Raghav for this. Raghav, Metastasis is a Spanish language remake of a famous television series. The series transposes the events of the original from the United States to Colombia. It follows the show in its entirety with very few exceptions and little additions not seen in the original version. Now, some of the character names of the show are Dash Blanco, Jose Miguel Rosas, Cielo Blanco, Henry Navarro, and Dash Bueno. Which show do you think is this show a remake of? Spanish language remake of what famous TV show?
Friends.
Friends? No. Passing to Anuya.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. That is correct.
Oh,
Kanuya.
Breaking Bad.
Blanco.
Blanco. The guy is called Walter Blanco, and there's Jose Miguel.
Walter White. Nice.
Walter White. There is Cielo Blanco.
Nice. Good one.
And the last guy-
Drugs. Just
Anuya's getting all the language ones, right? Broccoli, no, I don't know why you're Italian. Blanco.
Yeah.
Blanco.
Last one is
That's what some of the questions made us feel. Anyway, sorry.
so yeah, Blanco, in case you guys don't know, is basically white in Spanish. And the last character I think is Sol Bueno. So who is obviously Sol.
Also.
Yeah,
So this is Breaking Bad and Metastasis.
Mad. Good remake.
very cool.
Metastasis. Oh, because he has cancer.
Okay. Anuya had 34 in the first half. In second half, she got 5 for Darwin and then 10 each for Broccoli and Breaking Bad. With 25 more, she ends on 59.
Mad.
Voice.
Mad.
We have killed it.
Raghav has
Right.
10 in the first half. He got Ice Bucket Challenge and the Everton Crest. For, so 20 more. Raghav ends on 30.
Woo.
Sahil had 26 in the first half. In the second half, he got Dunder Mifflin and Doritos. So Sahil ends on 46. No, he also got.
I
no,
got
sorry,
one more. Yeah.
he got chocolate also. Sorry,
I'm at
my
56.
We got chocolate also.
bad.
Thank you, friends.
56. Chocolate also. Yes. Okay.
I'm so sorry, Sapan.
Sahil ends on
Tree has been created for the first time.
and yeah, sorry, Sahil.
Zero.
In this call.
Dude, this time I knew only 2. I knew Happy Birthday, which is an audience question, and I knew broccoli. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that brings us to the end of this quarterfinal. Congratulations to Anuya and Sahil. I'll see you soon in the semi-final.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Really well deserved.
Okay, but thank you so much. Thank you, Raghav. Thank you, Sapan. And
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
KB.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
KV. Great quiz.
All the best. All the best.